So every game since 2017, nearly 15% of every NFL game has been won by exactly 3 points. 6% for 6 and 9% for 7. So the reason people like taking 2.5, for example, is because going up to 3, the chance of getting a push obviously goes through the roof, and if you're on the wrong side of 3, and they end up losing by 3, and it's just knowing thresholds, I guess, would you call it, scoring milestones. Those are
Yeah, I
the.
mean, it's just the NFL is really is really not predictable, but the NFL is tight. There's so much parity. So many of these games end by close margins, and it just so happens that those margins line up with certain numbers of scores. I mean, so many teams will win by a field goal, they'll win by 2 field goals, they'll win by a touchdown or a touchdown and a field goal, or even 2 touchdowns. They are the most popular ways of doing it. We have effectively, take the safeties out of it, we have 3 ways of scoring. You have a field goal, a touchdown with a missed PAT, and a touchdown with a converted PAT.
Mm-hmm.
So it all just comes down to most of the time teams are tied, or and then we'll take the lead with one of those scores, or just because of the way those numbers fall, but these are the most popular, which makes a lot of sense in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Um, so yeah, I don't know if you want to go into they're
Yeah,
known as Wong teasers.
yeah.
You'll see why. They're a lot of
hmm
fun. So yeah, I don't know if you want to go to town on this bit.
Yeah, so what is a Wong teaser? Originally found by a man called Jonathan Ferguson under his pen name Stephen Wong. He wrote a book in 2001, basically signifying and highlighting his research findings on experimenting with what would be what are called a Wong teaser. Um, so basically, because NFL spreads are so efficient, you can actually use your knowledge of key numbers to increase your hit rate far more than you decrease your odds. If you're able to send a team spread through 3 and 7, because there's such prevalent point differences, yeah, you can tease those lines or buy 6 points, depending on where you are in the world. Using alternative spread lines to take you both through the 3 and the 7, which will just increase your win rate far more than it decreases your odds. So, for example, if you were to bet the favourite and you like the favourite at -8, if you wanted to increase your hit rate on that side, you would actually tease the line down to -2, because not only do you have all the you basically pick up a lot more wins by doing that, a lot of winning score lines. If you were to decrease it from -8 to -2, then you actually go from 53% of winning score lines to 92% of winning score lines, just because only the game landing 1 or 2 happens 8% of the time. So you massively increase your win rate if they do win overall. But with dogs, especially small dogs, it's even better. If you tease a small dog, i.e., a 2 point underdog or something like that, for this example, if you were to tease a 2 point underdog to up to 8 points, not only do you have all their wins, but you also pick up an additional 38% of the score lines that they lose, but you win your bet, which is just crazy. And of course, you're doing that with a Wong teaser is a double, so it's 2 of those games. We'll go through it later with the picks that we have for you. But it's actually been proven that regardless of any opinions, if you were to do this blind, you'd be winning long term.
Mm-hmm.
Providing you just use the right numbers, so you're able to go through the 3 and the 7. It's just if you do that, find enough games and pair enough games together, long term you'll win. Just because of how efficient these markets are, and the prices and the books just can't really, other than juice it, which they do try and do. That we've experienced that a lot more, especially over here in the UK. It used to be not particularly troublesome to find decent prices, but it's getting a bit harder now that bookies are cluing up to it. But you're really able to find some really strong bets. But yeah, it's quite remarkable that long term these things, regardless of how much they try and juice it, they're still profitable.